Now we're.
Hey.
That's right.
Don't do that. That's awful.
Oh, hold on.
Stop.
Can we not record because I got to put my hat on? My hair's a mess.
No, we're recording. We're live.
Mike, get a hat. Your hair's a mess.
I meant to wear my hat.
I think his
get
hair's
it.
fine.
Where did my hat go? All right. Oh well.
You didn't
Fuck
get it. You wearing that cowboy hat anyway.
I wish I did have my cowboy hat, but
Get
it's
it.
all the way inside now.
Ooh, that's so far.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Hey, we made it.
Oh, when
Once
I do
again.
it. When I do hey, it's bad. But when he does hey, it's fine.
Oh man, I'm not like a robot. Like, hey, you guys.
Would you like me to do the hay? Hi.
Yeah,
So
that's a thing.
Wait, I have to ask you a question.
Oh,
Okay,
fuck,
so we
come
got
on.
Army. What does Army do? What's the Army chant?
Cool.
Okay, what's the Air Force chant? We know Marines are hoorah, right? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, what's the Navy's? Close. Captain.
Hey guys, this is name pending.
This is name pending.
I'm Keeper.
I'm Mike.
And
That's
I'm Celt.
Mike. That's Celt. And
I'm
book talk?
Celtified.
Before book talk.
Ooh, okay.
Before book
This is
talk.
more important than book talk.
I want to talk about people walking around with giant fuck you water bottles like they're living in the fucking desert and
Hey,
they
bro.
can't walk up to any tap and get water.
We could, but San Antonio water tastes like a
Carry a
literal
normal
butthole.
bottle of water, like 20
No,
ounces or
no.
something. No, I've got to carry 5 gallons of water with me.
So
Why?
What? Because
Let me come out with my Stanley. Hold on, where's the bucket? Oh, they're not even close to me. Just-
So what they're talking about is I have a 64-ounce water bottle.
Are you going
That
to
I-
finish that in your time you're here?
No, because I put it in your car so you stop with it. So they're hiding it on set here.
Listen,
And
it is not
because
my
they're
fault.
jealous of my big water bottle, okay?
I'm definitely not jealous.
Definitely not jealous.
There's enough
And how much
libations here.
liquid it holds, okay?
So I have a
It is definitely wet,
I
not
have
moist.
a 24-ounce bottle of water that I take to school. Metal water bottle. Or to school. Yeah. To school.
I was like,
to school.
Mike's going to school again.
But you drink, it takes you all day to drink that 24-ounce bottle of water, right?
No, I refill it.
I refill
Okay.
it.
With city water,
No.
you have the option to get filtered water where you're at. Where I'm at during the day, I don't have that
You
option.
have it here.
Where are you at during the day?
During the day, I'm at various different places. So I go to the gym and I work out in the morning, and then I fill that water bottle up
At the gym?
at my house with filtered water, alkalinic additives added to
Alkalinic.
it, and then I add my rehydrate, rejuvenate, BCAAs, amino acids, all that stuff
I just drink water.
because it helps. I guess the healing process and the working.
No, I know
out
what you're
and all
talking
that.
about, but you only need so much of that at any given point in time.
Right. Well, so I drink 32 ounces while I'm at the gym, and that's my pre-workout mixed with water. Then during the day,
You
throughout the
put this all
day,
in the
I'm
same
drinking.
container?
No. So I have a 32-ounce bottle of water
Then why are we arguing about the 64?
because I run out of the 32-ounce bottle of water halfway through a day, and
So,
I gotta drink
hold on.
city water.
Let
that
me
tastes
understand
like
this. So you carry 2 bottles at the gym. So you
No,
double
one.
fist that.
One.
You just said you carry the 64 ounce to top off your.
No. When I get home from the gym, I have my 64-ounce that I fill up.
So you carry your 32 to the gym and then
Yes.
go home and fill up a 64.
Yes,
And then
Well-
lug the 64-ounce bottle around.
absolutely. Why do you think these biceps look so damn good? Look at that. Oh.
I
You
can't.
wanna-
2
I
months
don't
ago,
know what
they
you're
didn't look
talking
that
about.
sexy.
You want to fight? I could probably still kick your ass.
You want to whip my ass?
So we could fight.
Hey, bend over, Chachi. Let's make this work.
I'll be your captain. I'll be your captain. Isn't that your guys'
No,
like?
but I mean, seriously, it's something I've been thinking about too much. Honestly, it lives in the back of my brain, and it takes up
since
space.
6 o'clock today.
Well, no, because I see it all the time where people like they come into work, they walk around places, and they're hauling giant fuck you bottles of water.
I have a box of tumblers in my garage because my
Let's-
wife is one of these people.
There's
Okay,
no
well, hold
reason.
Hold up. How do you get mono? How do you get mono?
There's a couple different ways
Spread
to
of
get
water.
water.
There's a few. There's a few.
Through but it's liquid. It
Through
moves
liquid,
through liquid, right?
saliva, yeah,
Right.
anything.
So, water fountains,
I don't
bottle
drink out of water
refill
fountain.
stations.
But
So-
you know, a lot of places start doing top-down fills.
Yes, they are doing that now. But I mean, germs transfer, right? Like if I go and I touch,
Sure, but the odds of like, and I,
I
don't
mean,
know
COVID
about you, but
transferred
I don't
through
see
liquid.
people just sitting there like
Fingering
finger
the
fucking
top.
the fucking
filter.
fountain.
you'd be surprised at the weirdos that are in the gym. Have you seen the TikToks? I mean, come on.
No, because I don't need
They
to go
hump-
to. I
there's-
don't need to go to a gym to work out.
Bro, there's
I
a
do.
machine. There's
I
a
don't.
machine at the gym.
You don't
It
work
is
out.
a plate
Exactly.
that sits on a little ramp, right? It's almost like a quarter pipe, or no, like a little half pipe, but it doesn't go all the way up, right? It's like this, right? And you put your knees on it, and you do this, right? And it's an ab workout
The
machine.
thrust.
It's a thrust. But it's an ab workout machine. So you're working out your abs and your core.
Is it?
I
an ab
see
workout?
people on there misusing it all the time, like they're
Listen.
humping thin air.
Listen,
and I'm like, what
people,
the hell?
People misuse and
Everything.
don't correctly work out all the time.
Exactly.
The number of
There's
people I
people-
see, they're doing lat pull downs, and
Oh
they
my
won't
God.
have enough weight. Like I see not enough
Well,
weight
and
pretty
then they,
often.
And then they lean
And then they're-
back like this.
Well, it's either they're doing the lean back,
Right.
or they're just like they're dropping it with just the weight of their arms, and I was like, I don't know where the fuck you're doing this.
Or they're using too much weight and their ass comes off the seat.
Well, that's the other
Look,
thing
it's
is
together and down. Like,
whenever.
No, you actually pull it down like
yes.
this.
Well, it depends which one you're working.
well,
if your inners, outers are in, or your
Yeah,
hands are
but your
closer
hand-
together for outer.
What I was trying to do is your hands stay together as close as possible when you're
Right.
bringing. Either it's like this and you roll it, or you just go down. For
That's if
different.
you're doing a rope.
that's for
Pull
ropes.
down.
We're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
there's-
the
That's a big one you see because they'll have them out here and they'll be like trying to pull it freaking across.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like everybody works out wrong somewhere.
but I see people they do incorrect form. One of my favorite ones is people doing curls and they do whole body curls. Ugh.
well,
weight's
they've got
probably
to the
too
point
heavy.
where they're muscle fatigued and they can't do proper form. And at that point,
You
drop the weight,
drop the
go
weight.
home.
No.
No.
You lower the amount of weight you're
Yes.
lifting.
Once you've hit muscle failure, you should stop the workout.
No, because you haven't hit muscle failure.
That's where you think you hit muscle.
You
failure.
haven't hit muscle failure. You've hit the limit on what you can lift properly with proper form with this weight.
Mm.
Whenever you start losing proper form,
move down.
move down your weight. And if you move down weight so far, it's like, okay, I'm fucking curling 15s and I got nothing, then congratulations. Yes, you have actually hit muscle failure. But if you're fucking curling 40s, you haven't hit muscle failure. You just can't lift that weight anymore.
Yep.
Okay. It makes sense.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. What was that?
The fuck was that?
That was your Navy response. Did you hear him?
Yeah, no, he did kind of do the.
No, that was the
He
keeper.
did. He
that was
did do
keeper
the.
mouth to. Oh.
I did that after you. You know, we have this recorded, and Mike's gonna watch
Yeah.
it.
Mike. Hey, no bias. Bullshit.
Bias all the time. What are you talking about?
No, I'm obviously biased.
Hey, by the way, if you had a chance to spit, would you spit?
Like
Crickets.
bad beer.
Bad beer. A booger flies down in your mouth. Like you go.
If it's already
get a
in my
booger in your
mouth,
mouth?
I'm probably gonna swallow it. When your throw up comes back into your mouth, do you swallow or do you spit it out?
Spit that out.
I'll just swallow it.
I swallow it.
Gross. Why?
I mean, you asked.
Yeah,
You
wanted to know.
asked.
Do you chase it with Dr. Pepper?
I mean, I'll probably chase it with something. I'll drink something
I'll
after.
probably go to sleep.
Ah. I've done that too. It's just like,
comfort food.
and sometimes it's just like this.
Wait, hold on. It's like,
It was like, oh, thank God I have a water
It's-
bottle next
it's
to me.
not
I hope I
gross
don't die
if-
tonight.
It's not gross if it doesn't make it out of my
Yeah,
mouth.
it never left the body. Now let me ask you this.
I
Same
don't know about
subject.
that.
No, think about it.
Family business beer company.
You get blood on your hands. Do you ever put it in your mouth? You never like suck on a sore or something that you just got because it's bleeding?
Oh yeah, I sucked the blood right out of my fingers.
Yeah.
There's no issue with that? Whatever you just cut yourself on, that has more issues than anything else. But you're worried
your
about
saliva.
You're worried
antibacterials in it.
But you're worried about what's coming out of my body that never left my body. I'm just swallowing it again.
Well, there's a bacteria in it that made it come up.
No, it's alcohol.
It's alcohol.
It's always alcohol.
It's alcohol. Well, that's a different problem.
It's just alcohol.
Hey, let's be serious.
All the
talk?
book
Did
talk
you
girls
want
like a
book
good
talk?
book.
Oh, we have
talk.
book talk now.
All
I
the
totally.
book talk girls out there want a good book talk.
All the book talk girls. I'm one of them then. Because I've watched these book talks a lot of times.
How many
Okay.
times have I watched them?
No, because you don't watch the podcast you're even on.
We already know that you hate our podcast and everything that we do.
As much as y'all hate me.
And why can't I get to the page?
I mean, we just kind of hate each other as veterans.
Yeah.
God, I love
I
hating
mean, that's the way to live, right?
I love hating you guys so much.
I know.
I
we
hate
just
loving you guys.
we coexist all the time in a lot of things.
So book talk.
So book talk.
So I
what we
thought-
got?
Did you get like a rambunctious, like,
Boner?
Rambunctious?
yes?
Yeah,
on
I'm
a
just
book this
fucking
week?
hard as shit right now.
Like on a book?
Like,
did
right
you
now.
get like
Staring you deep in the eye.
stiff as a, like, look at that forearm right there. Fucking brick.
But
On a
if
book
you
this
read
week?
the book talk, it's without lube. He's at least reading it with lube.
That's good. Makes
So-
it easier.
I thought that this week was going to be a sad week for book talk
Oh,
because I
brought
Hey,
nothing.
had gone through. I know I keep trying to get you to get back into reading. I don't want
I
you to
am
lose
reading.
it.
I am reading.
It's
It's just
I'm
personal
not.
development.
I'm not watching a podcast nor am I reading.
But Mike's reading
real work in progress.
new books. I'm reading the same book, but
So I was cycling through a bunch of different books and I was really struggling because I wasn't finding anything that clicked.
any recycle bins? Or you started some recycle bins this week and we're like, I'm just not as interested.
No, I mean it wasn't recycle bins because I really wasn't wanting to do a recycle bin book. I was wanting to do something new, something that I had never read before. And I was like struggling. Going sci-fi, going fantasy, the whole shebang. Wasn't finding anything.
And then Tuesday comes along.
And then
Was it Tuesday?
it was yesterday.
Ooh, wow. Thursday came along. So
So-
you 4 days of you. So you're trying out books. You probably went through like a myriad of books and you finally
I
got.
probably hit 10 or 11 different books.
Okay.
And a lot of disappointment in between.
And you're just like, this,
Like nothing was clicking.
I'm not jumping on this one. It
yeah,
was-
like nothing was really clicking. And then yesterday I was like, I'm scrolling through my library and I was like, is there anything in here that like I had picked up and I just didn't read or whatever? And I come across this one book and I was like, huh, interesting. What is this? And I click it and I was like, I didn't get very far through it, right? And I was like, I vaguely remember this one. I think what had happened is I was in the mood for like a certain genre, and like although this looked good, it wasn't something I wanted to read.
like
And
at that time.
at that time, and so I came across it again, and I got sucked in hard.
So you retouch probably another series. You're like, because you probably looked into it, was like, okay, there's a couple books on this. It's not a one-off, and
So this is an 8 book so far. I don't know if there's going to be more. I've only gotten to the second book.
What's the name of it?
It is the first book is called Hardening the Steel, Wandering Blacksmith.
That
By
sounds amazing.
Mark B. Gilgam.
Is it
Okay,
like a true
totally destroy us in
blacksmithing-
the comments like you guys do.
Is it a true
Mark B.
blacksmithing type book?
Mark B.
Or is it
Gilgam.
like
So this is
robust man?
Wandering Blacksmith, book 1.
it's very like they get deep into like blacksmithing and what goes into it and all that jazz, but I mean it's based in a fantasy world.
They hit you with the feels immediately.
What? Go ahead.
If the overview, so
Go ahead, read the overview.
the overview. This is just the bold text. In the blood swamp, A northern battlefield. The healer, a slog, discovers a baby lying next to a dying warrior. Having recently lost her 2 infant sons, she decides to keep it for her own. Defying the judgment against his vanquished people, the blacksmith, Eckert, helps her keep the secret. The boy named Kit, and this is his story. They just hit you with the feels off the bat.
You're like, oh man, like she like, died, and like, so they do a good job. So it does. It starts off and you're following this kid Kit, and it's based off of a fantasy world that seems to be based in like our reality, but our reality, like in olden days, if all the fantasy for all the different countries was true.
Okay.
Like, and they're
So all lore, all fantasy, all
like
conjecture, it's all actually true,
yes.
and it throws
Like
it all together.
magic's real, and they seem to be part of like, it's not quite Norse mythology, but somewhere up in that territory, it feels like.
I mean, anytime you start touching blacksmith, it seems like they touch a lot of
Yeah.
Norse.
But so they call all the different places different things, but based off of like the descriptions of the people and stuff like that, like they say, these one people, all the peasants dress in silk and they talk like birds or whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, well, you're talking about like the Chinese, right? Like I know who you're talking about.
Well, we hit racism hard in this book. But the best part is you actually understand what's being talked about.
Well, I know roughly the areas that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about,
But it doesn't sound like it's hard racism.
no, it's not hard racism.
Like
It's like
the other book that
stereotyping.
you read before.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, like we're talking about the sand people hard. It's like, oh, so we're talking about the Middle East. Oh wow, this is how you described them? That's a little bit further than I would have said.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Galaxy's Edge did it.
Galaxy's Edge did it hard. They're like, oh, there's this whole planet. They're all sand people.
But with the Wandering Blacksmith, it's following this kid, and you pick up, and he's like 10 or 11 years old, and he's like the blacksmith is part of this famous heritage that is on this island, where it's been handed from blacksmith to blacksmith into antiquity, right?
Yeah, okay.
And there's always been a blacksmith on this island,
Passing down the trade.
yeah, and people come to and they straight up don't care about gold. Like people bring them gold, and they're like, "That's cute."
Yeah, what am I gonna do with
has
this?
no value.
To them,
Well,
they
yeah.
don't, like,
What are they gonna do with it?
they
It's
don't
probably
care about it.
trades and goods
Yeah.
and
I mean,
services.
You could melt it down and add it as an inlay and something and make it,
But gold is so malleable. Gold. Shoot,
gout hurts, bro.
not gout. Gald. GALD.
Gold.
It's just not a strong metal. That's why it's used in decorative stuff.
Right, that's what I'm
As
saying. As an
inlays.
inlay.
But you wouldn't use gold in like
a weapon
a weapon.
or
Right.
as a hoe.
You would exactly you use it for ceremony.
Oh.
I mean, yes, we're talking about
Yeah, tools.
Navy.
So it starts off following him, and he's apprenticed to this blacksmith, right? And he's also learning the healing arts from his mother, or he doesn't realize that this isn't his real father and his real mother, right?
Right.
But he is also like, because this is such a famed and almost mythical location for people to come and get like the best steel in the world made, some of the best swords in the world. He's also like training with all these warriors,
So he's becoming proficient in all these,
and
a
because-
skilled fighter.
and he is like his blood is from a heritage of very skilled warriors, and it shows, right?
Okay.
So, we go into a lot of the dynamics of, him dealing with how to grow up and be so skilled and still interact with people and respect people while being so skilled.
When was this book released?
I-
Because it
A long
sounds like
time
he
ago.
touched on a couple different aspects that movies and books have pushed out. Because
I do have a question though on top of
2020?
2020.
a long
Okay.
time ago.
Long time ago. That's 4 years. My kid's not even 4 years. That's not a long time ago.
My kids are 10 years.
Is this going to
They're-
deviate from book talk?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, shoot.
what is valuable in this book then? Like what is the monetary value?
Goods and services on the island.
Yes,
Obviously,
on the
how do
island
you how do you
trade.
exterior
pay
to
how do
the
you pay
island.
for it? Is it a barter system or
Yeah,
is
I
it
mean,
like
so
diamonds
it's it's whatever's in whatever they need on the island, right? So people will bring them coal,
Here's a
they'll
sword,
bring them
but we need
food,
food, or we
they'll bring
need.
them, you know, broken weapons and plows and stuff. They'll bring them books, like
It's a barter system.
Yeah, what
So it
they
is barter,
they
yeah,
straight up they
100%.
people ask them like, okay, what do you want? I brought all this gold, and they're like, we don't really need your gold. We want every piece of written documentation that you brought on your ship.
This 100% book, this civilization on this island sounds like the Aleutian people up in Alaska. If you
Yeah.
want to understand more of that type of organization, those type of people, the Aleutian people have been fishermen for so long,
Cabo, get back
but
here.
they have never really cared about the money coming in. They care
Right.
about what they have here and what they can receive.
It almost also sounds like Lord of the Flies kind of thing.
Oh, well, I was talking about real people. You want to know what he's talking about.
Let me finish some of the summary for the book real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Definitely.
So it's following him, and obviously I've read 2 books, and it's a slow burn in the progression in a way, but I didn't feel like it
It's
was
not
a slow burn
because it grabs you and you're
Yes,
invested.
I felt invested, and it's so refreshing to have like all the relationships. They didn't feel like you had to explain all the relationships all the time, like right, like you know, the kid gets all torn up because you know he was killing a bunch of animals. Right, he was forced to kill all of these predators because they were killing everything on the island,
Yeah.
and so he didn't want to hunt anymore because he didn't want to kill anything anymore because he was torn up about it. And someone who was a friend of the family comes to the island, and all it says is that he started hunting again because they went out hunting together, and they didn't say what was said. Literally said no idea what was said to the kid, but he started hunting again. They didn't fucking spell everything out.
We got work to do.
You didn't. I love it when there is stuff left to interpretation, right? Like you don't spell every encounter out. You don't spell every single thing out for me.
Yep. No, that's
And the way it's written is unique, and it has more of an older feel to it, right? And the book was
Okay.
released in 2020, but it feels like a writing style from back in like
the 70s, 80s.
no, like the 1600s.
Okay. So he really, really did research to build this book out.
So.
It's what it sounds like.
So, yeah, I would absolutely suggest it. Obviously, I'm going to continue reading it because I finished book 2.
I mean, I'm going to finish my personal development book.
Are you?
I
Are
am.
you?
One day. Me too.
I'm at 35 hours. It's a 72-hour book. I'm at 35 hours left.
So, like 12 hours?
I mean,
no, it's 35 hours at 2 speed.
At 2 speed.
Mm.
So, I mean, I've read about 12 hours because I think it's like 45 at 1 speed.
And have you been enjoying?
I have, yeah. There's a lot of history and knowledge that I've been gaining from it that I wasn't aware of before.
Okay.
It's the chronological Bible.
Okay.
I'm pushing through it, and it's like, ooh, okay, that's interesting. How God, when Moses brought everyone out of Egypt, was like, oh, I'm going to kill the people. It's like, well, I knew that because God was mad, but I didn't realize how much Moses pled for their existence.
Yeah.
And this coming from a guy that, quote unquote, stuttered, his own admission. And I don't like talking because I stutter, and I don't like confrontation. That's why I left when I killed someone who was messing with Hebrew people. So I'm listening to all this, reading through all this, and it's like, So there's more things I'm picking up audibly versus reading.
Awesome.
But
Celt,
zero book talk.
anything?
I love lamp.
I love lamp.
Okay. Well, that's intermission.
That's intermission. I need a beer. By the way, Wolf, this is for you. Since you loved this. Cayman Jack, my dead homies drink this, as always.
Oh.
Can't do it. You win, bro. Not today. Cabo, that's gross. It's gross beer.
You don't
Get
need
it.
alcohol, Cabo.
I don't know how Wolf drank it.
I don't know either, dude.
It is the shittiest margarita ever.
Cabo, stop.
Still watching you.
Stop it.
But I see
Drinking
beer.
water, no problem.
No, Toby was drinking water. She was like, I'm thirsty.
Oh shit. So what do we want to talk about? We had a couple topics.
We were talking about roads, but before roads, we talked about because all
Presidents.
this. No, there was a ladder that we went through.
Yes.
That they're all connected. Roads, the proper
So
guy
we were
for the
going to talk
job,
about
the
Houston.
dam. Yep, there we go.
We were going to talk about
Let's
Houston.
talk about
So
Houston.
because
Houston.
we talked about the French and
tornado that went
Louisiana,
through
or
yesterday.
we talked about the Army Corps of Engineers, which connects Louisiana French. Yes, Houston flooding.
So my parents. This reminds me of every like phone talk I have with my dad, where we try and trace back how we ended up where we got.
But we did it. But that just means we need more beer.
We do need more alcohol.
Hey, can I tell you something? So let's get this off the right way.
I never
with me
even
telling
said-
the story.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
Ah,
So Houston's been flooding, but we're in a drought. That's why our so we were talking about this off camera before as we were getting started. My argument is that South Texas is in a severe drought still. Medina Lake is at 2.7% capacity. But apparently it's because whoever made the dam screwed up
No,
and
when they did
nobody has
maintenance.
ever fixed it. So there's still water leaking through cracks in the dam. And therefore the lake can't be filled because
Well, they fucked up the what's the gates called on
The water
dam?
gate?
the water gate.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the Watergate scandal.
Yeah,
Watergate.
they screwed up the gates on. So I think they're just open.
Okay,
on the
so
dam,
they can't
or they're
close
partially
them.
open or something
Yeah,
like that. But
they're-
they can't open and close.
Okay. So that now that there's no water in the damn lake, they can get in there and fix it, right? I mean, the lake was made for the farmers anyway.
Yes.
It wasn't made for people to go out there and get on a boat and have a good time.
Act like a
it was
jackass.
right. It was made for farming. It was a place to draw water from to water crops that would eventually make it back into the lake, and it was just a recycle pond, basically. The problem is Houston is flooding like crazy right now because of all the storms they've been getting this year. And in
And last
2005,
year.
and
the
last
year
year.
before.
And
Well,
every
I mean,
year.
before.
But the thing is, though, is, Katrina hit in 2005. At that time,
Was it 2000?
it was 2005.
Ooh,
Do you feel
20
old?
years ago.
Do you feel old?
Yeah. It's 19 years ago.
Now
Um,
imagine how I feel.
Oh, you're old as dirt, bro.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the youngest one here, and you're just like spitting dust.
I know. Like, I saw that there's actually a solid streak of gray.
Are you sure that he needs to pee because he just went to go lay in the water?
And drink the water. He's drinking it right now.
He's drinking it. He's
Doesn't
licking
he
that
have water over
nasty, stale
Not right now. I gotta
mosquito
grab-
water. But anyway, so back in 2005, they opened the floodgates to the dam, the water gates to the dam of a lake at a
Wait, which lake?
the
Conroe?
one-
Lake
yeah,
Conroe?
Lake Conroe, I
Okay.
believe. And I believe I'm not 100% on that, but the flow rate was at 110 feet per second.
I had to go sit in the water because I'm a puppy.
That was the highest ever release rate that dam has ever released.
So
Now they're at 120, which is now a new record, and it's flooding behind the dam, and it's flooding in front of the dam.
so listen, first off,
The whole area is screwed.
well, first off, let's get something straight. The Houston area really isn't that far above sea level, bro.
No.
It's close to being in a swamp.
Oh no, a hurricane came and we're under.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, like they literally fucking purchased out entire neighborhoods when I was a kid. This was when I was a kid,
Mhm.
right? They purchased out entire neighborhoods because they were so prone to flooding and fucking bulldozed all the houses, and they just sit there empty to this day. Fucking just sit out there empty, and they just got little fucking roads that go through it, and they're just empty fields.
They pulled a book from China. Let's
Um,
build all this and then buy it back.
Well, because they were flooding, and it's costing everyone too
Yep.
much money.
right.
So the flooding issue is not a new issue, right? It has gotten worse, And this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, because the developers have not been required to do proper city plan. There's not proper city planning, right? There's
Right.
not a proper regional plan for the Metroplex, because they're not like Katy is not required to coordinate their planning with Houston. And all these little regions are not required to coordinate their planning with each other. And so as a result, too much concrete gets built up
Yep.
in the wrong ways.
Yep.
We hired the wrong person to do the job.
I mean, they're straight up taking out areas that were fucking nothing but floodwater when I was a kid, and they're fucking putting strip centers in there and fucking Walmarts in there and shit.
Well, and here's the thing too, like there isn't a single city in the United States, lower or upper or out in Houston, that actually plans. There's not a single city planner that sits there and plans for 20 years out.
Colorado.
No,
Colorado.
I disagree.
You can disagree. That's fine. Colorado doesn't have to worry about floods. All they have to worry about is ice. So their biggest thing is water that they care about.
They also have to worry about water supply. Because as
they worry about water supply, which isn't city planning. Water supply is not city planning. What city planning cares about is people, location, and drainage. Colorado has that. Their biggest issue is the amount of snowfall and the drainage, and they're good with that. The reason they have a water shortage
crops.
Well, and let's be serious.
And the water's going other places.
Denver got slammed.
Yes.
Denver went through a boom that even if you were planning out 20 years in advance, you wouldn't have seen coming.
That's true.
Because even when I was like, oh yeah, Colorado's going to legalize weed, I did not expect
a boom value.
Yes, I did not expect that.
The proportion value was so insane because they planned, like when this started being talked, they actually addendumed what the plan was, the 5-10 year plan. It was like, well, in case of this is this. I think it hit it by like 10-20% over what they thought it was going to be.
And they built it in a percentage of expected failover anyway.
And it was over that.
Well, the reason why you can't build per a 20-year plan is because you don't have the tax dollars yet to actually afford the
No, but you can plan for 5 to 10 years. You can plan.
You can plan for 20 years.
Yeah.
You can plan for
start
50
building.
years. But no, you can't start building, but you can plan
That's what I
for
said.
the building.
No, you said plan.
You said plan.
I said
you can't build for 20 years.
So what I was trying to say is you can what I think I said was
listen.
You can plan out for 20 years, but you can't start the build out.
So here you go.
We don't care
because you don't have the tax dollars to do it.
We don't care.
Suck a fat egg.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I'm saying something. All right? It doesn't matter what you meant to say. All that matters is what we perceive based off of what you did say.
No, it's what you can prove in court, damn it.
Video.
No, but San Antonio specifically has a 5 and 10 year plan. They have a 15 and 20 year plan, but
they had a 20-year plan in 2020.
Their
2020.
Their 10, their 15, and 20-year changes depending on how their 3-year plan, which is like, what are we doing now for 3 years?
Right.
And their 5-year plan. And we see their 10-year plan, and the closer we get to the 10-year plan of 2030 currently, we see where it's going. And this changes that plan and the plans further. Like, well, this is taking longer, this is taking longer.
But again, the problem with Houston is that it's not a coordinated plan for the entire region.
No, it's a coordinated plan, and I pulled portions of it for Bel Air, Braeswood Place, Briar Grove Park, downtown, which is 77002.
Yeah.
The flooded buildings, Eldridge North, and Knollwood. Those are your top ones that get the most love. I don't know what those places are. I know what downtown
they're not working with each other. They're not all working with each other.
What about the Woodlands? I mean, the Woodlands are the richest area.
It wasn't
the Woodlands is technically part of that Metroplex, but realistically, they're so far out of the realm. They're so far out that
because they're what, northwest?
Yeah, they're like north.
I think they're almost true north. Yeah, because that's where the Renaissance Festival is. No, Renaissance is northwest.
Yeah,
True Woodlands is north.
Renfest is Todd Mission. Something mission.
It's on the way to A&M. Your favorite Texas school.
I mean, yes,
The best school.
I would say it's the best school. What are you gonna say, Baylor?
Where you guys say
Yeah,
UT?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
The
No
school
one
of
good comes out of Texas Tech.
How
Name someone, please. Enlighten me. Enlighten me.
about UTEP? Was that a gun? Shiny object.
Well, that's what I was listening for. They haven't shot again
Squirrels.
if it is a gun.
that did sound like
It did. It was like 3 clips. Like
it's okay.
like,
It's country.
It's the country. I mean, they were further bit away. It wasn't as loud as it
Yeah, no, that wasn't very close.
sounded like the other side of 16.
maybe.
That did sound like the other side of 16.
That wasn't the other side of 16,
That
bro.
was definitely the other side.
That wasn't the other side of 16.
That
It was
wasn't.
just
that
the
was
22.
deeper into the neighborhood.
That's not that way.
That was this way.
I'm
That
deaf.
was just
What do
the
I know?
22.
That was
That
not
was not
22.
22, bro.
If that was a 22, that was like an
Tap, tap, tap.
automatic, semi-automatic 22.
Yeah, there was a beefy ass 22.
Because there was like 4 shots, and for it to carry over here from at least 2 miles away, minimum,
It could have been a half mile.
loud sounds. My place, you hear airplanes. Here, you
You
hear people
hear-
working on cars,
You hear crazy country folk.
Playing loud music,
playing loud music.
just like us.
LFMAO. Because I'm sexy and I know it. I work out.
So we've been on a kick lately because we all started reminiscing about the time when
The good old
LM
days.
yeah,
the
the
good
When
old
they
LMFAO
were
days.
babies
was
and I was a teenager.
What are you
when
talking about?
LFF. No, that was when I was in the army, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
We looked this up, and you're like, "Oh, it's not. It's older." I was like, "No, it's actually about 2012, 2013." We were both in the military.
Yeah,
I was already medically
I
retired.
was party rocking.
I was party rocking. I think I was probably at 6th Street in Austin.
I was at 6th Street in Austin. We probably passed.
We
each
probably
other.
did pass each other.
Actually, I was. We might all.
It's okay.
We were all in the same place.
Me and my wife were at a 40 Day concert, and I broke her friend's nose at one of the concerts.
You didn't even know.
Damn.
I didn't even know it. And then I met him later. He was like, "You're the fucker that broke my nose." I was like, "One, where? 2, I don't know who you are." It's like, "Were you at a 40 Day concert in Houston?" I was like, "What year? Like, when did this happen?" And Jess's response was, "Man, that dude's an asshole. You're married to that asshole, babe." Hey.
So there.
But back to Houston. No, Houston has a flooding problem
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're built on
Shiny
a bowl.
objects.
Like,
Are they in a bowl though?
yes, because the center of Houston is lower than the rest, and it starts raising. So the moment the eclipse of it and water comes in, it all floods down to downtown being the biggest issue.
Yeah,
That's why.
which has also got the most concrete and yeah.
So I mean, they've destroyed land in a way
They have.
to not have a proper drainage.
You know, and there's not enough greenery and there's not enough everything
So, I
else.
mean, how do we
to
fix
account.
where they're at now?
So, I mean, the obvious way to fix this is that you encourage more greenery.
I mean, maybe also add more drainage.
Well, there's a ton of fucking
There is a
drainage in
ton of
Houston.
There is a
There's
ton of
fucking
drainage.
ton of drainage in
I
Houston.
mean, where do you think they get all the mud bugs from, bro? The
What are you talking-
drains.
do
Louisiana.
you know how many fucking bayous that I was fucking playing in while I was
Bro.
down there?
I love me some mud bugs.
Yeah,
Mike's like,
bro.
I'm making some
do,
gumbo.
do you know how?
Hey,
do you
girl,
know how-
hey.
Do you know how deadly it is to go mud bug hunting in Houston?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
all
about?
all the mosquitoes that'll bite
Oh,
you
my
up head
goodness.
to toe.
Oh man, you fucking worthless
I thought
sack
you were
of
gonna talk
shit.
about the
Vampires
one-
out there.
The one gator we see every once in a while.
I
that-
thought you were gonna be like water moccasins, which won't kill you. They'll just make you wish you were dead.
Yeah, like it's not going to kill you. You just
if you get
you
bit
will.
by that many mosquitoes, you'd wish you
No.
were dead too.
No,
You
I
won't.
fucking grew up there, bro. You're
Bro,
fine.
I looked like I had chicken pox.
I
the
look
amount
like
of
nothing
mosquitoes that
because
bit me.
mosquitoes
That's
don't
right.
like me.
They don't like alcohol.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, I was drinking every time I held a water moccasin.
Ah, good man.
Hey, big chugs.
I missed the reference.
Oh no, I got the reference.
I missed it.
Okay, that makes one of us. We're just gonna leave you in the darkness. now.
Swallow.
No, I'll spit. Like that. Depending on the location.
So we were all in Austin
Oh.
at the same time. Austin, man, it was good back in the day.
It was. Austin
It was a fun
changed.
time. Now, was that because of how old we were, or because it has legitimately changed?
I wouldn't say it's
Austin has
how old we
gotten-
are because the younger
how
people
old we were then.
Nope, because the people I work with
Perception.
now are like, you went to 6th Street? Gross.
Oh, it's that bad?
I was like, no, 6th Street was great. Like, I know it got bad. They're like, no, like, why are we going to go if I want to party, I'll go to Dallas or I'll go to Houston. And I was like, hold the fuck up. You're going to spend hours. And they're like, yeah, I'll spend hours and I'll rent a hotel room there. And I was
Well,
like,
I mean, that's the thing is, like, I've been to Austin and I've gone to 6th Street a couple times.
I've gone
since
about
I've been
3
here.
years ago for a conference.
And I was like,
And it was black. It was like I can go to a country bar and get more value. Like
Yeah.
a shitty country bar, not a good country bar. Like I'm not talking about they're only playing country music. I'm saying somewhere out in the sticks that they have one sign that has like LED strips.
Oh, you're talking about an ice house, bro.
No,
Midnight Roboho.
no, I'm talking about fuck, I hit the table. I'm talking about you're talking about a sign that someone put an 18650 or a little 12-volt battery connecting to an LED strip that says beer, alcohol, spirits, not an ice house, less than an ice house.
Free tomorrow.
Dude, I don't know.
And I get more value out of that one and the crazy shit that happens there versus 6th Street where it's like, I'm just going to have sex here on the pool table.
Yeah.
And, we're going to drink $20 beers. And
Well, I mean,
that wasn't how 6th Street was when I've been
6th
there.
Street used to be
it
a
used to
blast.
be
It
a
used
blast.
to, it used to be where the party was on the street.
It used
Yeah.
to, we closed off both sides of 6th Street.
Do they not
Yeah.
do that?
Yes, they still closed it off, but it used to be that you left the club to have a better time on the street.
They still
Yeah.
closed it off.
Yeah, like
they don't
literally,
want-
you would party on the street.
Yeah.
Like, this was about 5-6 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. There was a shooting there,
Yes.
and clubs showed up to defend the people there because it's a party central. You know what? Enjoy it. You know what? Screw it. The cops aren't going to show up. We're going to show up and make sure everyone's safe. Like, okay, police force, and Edward talked about some of the policing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
But why is a party central city? It's
Used to
a
be.
college city.
Yeah.
Used to be. How come we can't have a safe place to party? 6th Street. You're like, oh, you're talking about this.
Well, and I mean, realistically, I mean, the biggest problem is because they tried to buy into they didn't. So I love San Antonio because San Antonio is very conscious of their skyline and they're conscious of their
Yeah.
downtown atmosphere, right?
Well, San Antonio has a very strict neighbor policy as far as sky view is concerned.
Yeah.
We're potentially getting an NFL team coming.
Nah, I don't think so. I think we get
What?
an MLB team before
No,
we get
dude.
football.
I mean, we might be, but there's talks about the Chiefs coming down here.
Dude, if that happens, Dudding is going to lose his fucking mind.
I mean, realistically, it's going to bring more business, but we're going to have the same issue that
we don't have the population to support an
Not
NFL
true.
team.
That's not true.
that is not true.
We are the 7th largest city in the nation.
I hear you.
No,
However,
no,
you can't get
that's
enough.
not-
You can't get enough people to go to a Brawlhawks game to support
What the fuck
that.
is a Brawlhawk?
That's XFL.
Exactly.
I don't
It's
know what
football.
fucking
Football
Brawlhawks
No,
fucking
it is
football.
not football. You're talking about you're debating right now NFL versus American Football League, XFL, and whatever else, or the college or not college, the Canadian football teams.
When we get down
NFL
to
will
it,
always be a staple because
NFL is entertainment.
they
When
all-
it comes
it's all that.
down to it, Texas, true Texans are fans of high school football. When it comes down to it,
High
would
school
you
and
rather
college.
go to a high school football game, like an all-out Bandera game, or would you rather go to a Dallas Cowboys
This is
game?
where you're
Oh,
getting
no, I'd
into.
rather go to a Bandera game
Yeah.
than the Cowboys game any
Like,
day, but I hate the Cowboys.
You're talking
or a
about
Texans game?
it's NFL. The biggest thing is you're talking
I don't
about.
like NFL, bro.
You're
I
talking.
I'm
am
not
the
gonna
wrong. I am the wrong audience
And
to have
that's
this
exactly
argument
my
with.
point. I'm not going to spend
You're
$350 for a fucking ticket.
They care about good football. XFL, my opinion, and I'll stand on this, and I can probably speak for Mike. XFL is not good football because, one, you're the people that left college to try to go for money. College now has a staple where you can make money in college,
Right.
which me,
UIL
Mike,
laws
and his
changed.
dad have all talked about. How
Yeah.
it's good and bad depending on your viewpoint and understanding of what's going on. But now they can actually finish their degree with where they're at.
Yes.
Which, to me, personal development, there's a staple, there's a value there. I mean, you're building.
How does it make it so that they can finish their degree? There are
Because
many
you-
athletes that finish
Well,
their
because they
degree
don't
beforehand.
feel pushed to
Make
get
money.
out of there in order to make money, because that's what all their family is telling them is it's like,
Oh.
oh, well, they got the NFL offer, so man, fuck the college, just get out and go make money.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, in the past like 10 years, the amount of people that have left college, jumped to NFL before this new push are coming broken because college will consistently play harder than NFL.
Absolutely.
Not
That's
only
why I
that,
will always
but
like college football before NFL.
if you leave college as a sophomore to go play professional, you're undersized.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You are
Outside,
not.
yeah.
You are not ready for this. You
Right.
just are not ready for this.
Well,
and
that's like
people who
somebody
do that, they
going-
get fucking stomped.
That's like somebody playing, being an all-star high school student getting drafted into the NFL out of high school.
There's been, I think, 2 people that have actually been successful.
Right.
And they did
it's
4
an all-out
6-year
fail
stints.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Everyone else is like, there's been YouTubers that were NFL that never heard of them until they left the NFL.
I
and
mean,
it's
don't
like,
listen to me. I'm talking out my butthole. I don't know shit from
I'm not.
shit, but
There's college has a value, and now that we can put value on individuals and they can make money with sponsorships,
Which
One,
I've got mixed feelings about that. I really do.
agreed, and we
Should
agree
you-
on a lot of
should
those.
you be driving should you be driving a Porsche because you were offered a sponsorship while you're in college?
Well, answer me
ah.
this: should you get in trouble for driving a Porsche because you're sponsored because of the value you put at the game? If I'm like, hey, Mike, the truck you drive is on loan till you finish college because the value you're putting into the football team, which is my alma mater.
I get that it would be on loan. I get it's on
But
loan.
that
if
was
you
where this
screw up
started.
Yeah,
and
this
your
is where
grades
this started.
drop-
No, this is
and
where
your
this
grades
issue
drop-
started. It was like, hey, Mike, here's a car. You can use it while you're here. This is my alma mater. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Finish college. Don't join the NFL until you're done.
Which a lot. I mean, the fact of
that's
the
a
matter
borrow
is that
system, not a
the
giving
fact of the matter
system.
is that there were a ton of fucking people doing this back behind the scenes, right?
Right.
And everyone knew about it.
But
nobody
nobody
said
cared.
anything about it.
No one said anything about
Well,
it.
it's
Now
just
they
like
can do it up
enhancement
front.
drugs. Everybody knows it's there, but they're not testing because they don't want to know. They don't
Actually,
want to know
college
how many
is really
people
good
are
about that. The
on
enhancement,
enhancement
drugs.
drugs.
Yeah, they're
College
good.
is more on par than freaking NFL
Again-
and the Olympics.
Again, why college is superior than NFL.
And they have stricter standards.
So, like, if I'm okay, so testosterone is actually I just did this study on this. Testosterone is a steroid.
Yes.
Yeah.
When prescribed testosterone, it is a legal steroid.
Depends on the testosterone.
It does depend on the testosterone, and it does depend on how you prescribed it. And you are legal to take it with the prescription.
Okay, but when does it become illegal? For instance, if I'm playing college football and they drug test me and they take a sample of my blood and they're asking, okay, well, there's no marijuana, there's no coke, there's no enhancement drugs, et cetera, but your testosterone is at 1600 when average range is 400 to 700.
And we're going to touch on this once we jump back on. See you in a second. Oh, damn. He don't have his bougie juice.
So tell me what DEI is. Keeper.
Diversity,
Equity, and inclusion. And why do we want to talk about this?
We want to talk about because one, I'm not a fan.
Well, it feels
it's
like
BLM. Bro,
No,
it's not.
it's not like BLM.
Get your mic to your face first.
Oh, put that mic in my mouth.
I'm not a fan of it only because I'm all on board for choosing the best person for the job, the
Yes.
best person for the show, the best person for this. Not, oh, it's going to get me, quote unquote, more views because
Nah.
they're black or they're indigenous or they're Asian or.
And not just that, but it affects the hiring process too.
And now let's jump over to the game aspect of it. It was like, oh, well, now they're gay. But they're not gay because it matters. They're just gay.
Yeah, we got to hire them. We got to hire them because they're black and gay. So that gets us more points.
And it's like we're adding all these extra stuff to anything. It was like.
So instead of having someone work a job or a position because
And be qualified.
they're qualified.
And cool, they're gay or they're
I
indigenous
don't
or they're
care
black.
what you are.
But look, if
Can
they're
you
qualified,
do the work?
If they're qualified and they're all these things,
So let me
Cool.
tell you something. On every application to every 500 company out there, it states we do not. What is it?
not segregate, but
Include or disclude based on sex, creed, religion,
Yeah.
color, all this
Yep.
other stuff, right?
we're
But
not biased
DEI
on it.
is fucking doing that.
Yes.
It's saying we are not hiring you because you're fucking white and 35 years old.
Not even white. We're not hiring you because you're black.
and
we're
you're
not hiring
straight.
you-
You're a straight white old man. We're not hiring you.
It comes down
It's-
to this is affecting every race.
Oh, and you're a veteran. So now you're
but
triple
this is
fucked.
affecting every race. It really is.
It's affecting everyone, and it's not.
Because I looked into this. There's an Asian company. Actually, in Japan, it's a Japanese company that are specifically hiring white, black, and Indian. They serve sushi. I don't want to receive sushi from a white, a black, or an Indian individual. And they're all chefs.
Hey, in
Yeah.
San Antonio, how many Chinese restaurants have
No,
Chinese cooks?
but think about it. I go to Japan. I'm expecting
The
the
sushi places I've been to in San Antonio
are all Asian there.
Asian.
Okay, if you go to Gadai or if you go to
Wasabi.
No, my favorite to this day sushi place is this small fucking hole in the wall place that opened up off of Hubner, right? And I still love this place. They've got like 5 tables in the entire joint,
Mine's
Hubner
Wasabi.
and what?
like Days of Allah.
Mine's Wasabi, close to Days of Allah and Hubner. It's all in one of the strips. You go to this place, you're like, they're gonna put fentanyl in my food. Like, it looks sketchy, and you go in there, it's like, okay, this looks like it used to be.
You know what though? There's a Thai
business?
place on Walsham near 35 that's like that.
The
It's
holes
a
in the
hole,
walls are amazing.
dude. It's a hole in the wall, but it is the best Thai food.
But why are we moving to? I need a white sushi chef. I need a black sushi chef.
Well, and I've
I mean,
run
it's
into
all
this
racial,
in the
bro.
I've run into this in the workplace where they have hired a black female, and then they trained her, and then they sent her off to go work in an area for the company, and she goes to work in the area,
And they're like,
and
she has no value.
she was garbage.
Yep.
Okay,
So it's like, and when I say garbage, I don't mean like it's not just that she didn't know her job. It's just that like she spent the entire time she was at work on the phone with her girlfriends on the work phone,
well,
the government phone.
let me ask you a question. Since you're speaking about government phone and work and all that, in your stint in the military, did you ever run across the women that were like, I just want to be treated like the rest of y'all? Like,
Nope.
No.
there are so many. So I was in the military in the early 2000s.
You were in the Navy.
where this happened more frequently than probably any other
because
fucking
everybody's looking for a captain to. Hey, captain.
Hey, Captain.
branch.
But
so-
no, continue.
But seriously, how many times? Like my daughter's mom, bless her heart,
Ooh, okay, so he just said fuck you in Virginian.
Not anymore. That's
He actually meant bless your heart.
yeah.
But really,
My daughter's
fuck you.
mom and I met in the Navy. We had the same job. We were both welders. And one of her comments one time early on that I
She was good with the
remember
push
was, "What?
She's good with the push rod, huh?
No.
Not a good welder.
That's
He
why we're
said your
divorced.
job sucks.
That's why we're divorced. But no, for real.
I thought it was because you didn't use lube.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
it was,
didn't.
it was
I
probably
didn't.
that
It was
one.
rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Mm.
Every
She
girl
was a
since
dude.
though has been
Pre-transition.
not needing.
Okay, as you were saying, we keep
anyway.
interrupting. Sorry.
You
Yes.
met there.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay,
Yeah,
God.
that's it. That's
there
it.
we go.
Woo! That's gonna be our catchphrase.
That's the thumbnail. His face.
Tickle that subscribe, baby. Like and comment if you want more of this. Come on, let's fucking go! Whoa! Woo! Drink some more. Fuck it.
Ah!
Okay.
As he vapes hard into the mic.
What were we talking about?
You're the one
You're-
talking about it.
Oh,
You
push
and
rods.
your
You interrupted
peak
yourself.
frustration,
So, yes.
DI, Navy,
Yes,
early
okay.
2000s.
But one of her comments in the beginning, when we were just getting to know each other, out on the dance floor of a country bar,
That explains it.
was, I just wish I was treated differently. I said, you're a woman. I mean,
How do you
Yeah,
want to be
you
treated?
know,
How do you
and-
want to be treated?
well, okay, so back then,
That's
I mean,
my
this is
comment.
like, this
Right.
is 20 plus years ago. My
Early 2000s.
perception, I was a different person half a life ago.
A quarter of a
different person.
century.
Wait, 20 years ago was early 2000s. Oh,
It was a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts me on
Quarter
the
of a-
inside.
We have people in the military who don't believe in 9/11.
Stop. Okay, we're
9/11
deviating.
did not happen, bro.
We're
That was a
deviating.
government conspiracy.
We're deviating. Go back.
Anyway,
Go back.
let's go. So she made a comment. I want to be
She wanted to
treated
be treated
equally, right? Why is it such a problem for a woman to be able to do the same hard ass work that you can do? I said, because you physically can't,
Yeah.
right? You physically don't have the strength.
There's nothing wrong
It's
with
not
that.
because you're missing a dick and balls. It's because you don't have the fucking strength.
Your
And there's
genetic
nothing
makeup
wrong with that.
doesn't match.
And
It's
I mean,
just-
I always point back to the
You can man up all day long, but
I always point back to the fun event, which tennis is a very physical sport, right?
oh yeah,
Where
number
Serena,
one. Yep,
Serena Williams, it was Serena Williams,
yep,
right?
number one at the time.
Number one female tennis player played against number like 500.
He
something.
was the lowest
and she lost,
number.
right?
He
Destroyed
destroyed her.
She had like
And
maybe a
she
handful of
said
points.
beforehand that this was what was going to happen. She knew what was going to happen, but they wanted to see this play out. She's like, okay, we're going to do it.
Who wanted to see it?
The public.
The public. This is no different than what happens in the military every time. Oh, women should be in spec ops. You know what? Every single 5-10 years is like, sure, let's throw this flag up again, see if it can happen. So we throw women in Navy SEAL training, but we throw them in pararescue, Air Force. We throw them in Army Rangers. And it's like, wow.
But
You know,
more and
today,
more women are
there's-
actually making it through.
There's been 2 females that made it in Army Rangers. I think one, last I saw, that made it in Marine Recon. One.
So these are outliers.
This isn't your broad,
Are these your dykes or are these like
no, they're females. They love men.
female they love
Yeah, they're
the
not.
shaft?
But these are outliers.
Outliers.
These are not the standard. This is not every woman in the world can do this.
Like on your pill
Gotcha.
bottle of whatever medicine the VA gives you.
because they're
it's
not
like,
lowering the standard.
yep, there's this percentage of chance you
and
can have this.
Why should they? Because
they
the rest
should
They
not.
shouldn't.
they're
None
right,
of them
exactly because the rest of the fucking military has lowered their standards.
And honestly, this is an
Stress
American.
card.
No,
no.
no. I
The
had
military
another
has
thing.
definitely dropped the standard. Okay,
I love how Army, perfect example, is like, we're lowering the standards. We're changing this. We need we need all these weights. We've talked about this before. We need
Yep.
all these weights. They changed their whole PT program. And then after
They-
everyone received
Everyone got all their equipment.
this, the generals over here like, fuck it! We're going back, baby! We're going back to old school! But what do they have now? They now have equipment that can actually... It was like,
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
an actual
Get so
sled for them
by.
to pull weights.
Yeah,
Now-
and that's what they need, right?
What they have
on,
now at the gyms that they can take out to the field that before
October.
they didn't have.
October, come here.
Toby, nobody's mad at you
Come here, Toby.
She keeps digging her nose in my butt.
because she's afraid. I got loud. But no, Army was the one that props to that general.
Dude, so they fucking played Congress
system.
and everyone. They played
Absolutely.
the entire system. They played the entire fucking system.
Well, that's like
to
the
a
Marines
T.
with their outfits.
We agree we should do this. We agree we should do this. And then the general's like, bitch, we got this. Hold my beer.
Right.
And reverted back to 2 systems ago
Yep.
where you have value. Like, you're actually doing a PT test. You're doing your peak walls.
Although, that being said, I do remember pacing a female for her PT test one time, and I was like, not even going anywhere.
Why don't we have a universal
I was
standard?
not even going anywhere, and like,
Well,
she
I
got,
mean, if
like-
women
and
really
she
truly
passed.
want,
she
It-
passed, and I was like, she's like, that's the best PT time I ever got, and I was like,
I haven't even broke a sweat.
so okay, hold up a second though, because that's the thing. Like, women want such equality, but they bitch if the PT quals change.
well, the draft.
Yep.
The moment that it was brought up, bringing women into
Oh,
the
let's
draft.
throw women in the draft. Oh, no, no,
whoa,
no.
whoa, whoa, whoa!
Right, but we want all these
whoa.
other rights.
Yes,
But we don't want to take
They don't
responsibility.
want equality.
No, they want rights.
They want what? There's a different term for
It's
it. Where
not rights. It's not
equity?
equality. It's they want to have value, and they are valued, but they don't see their value because it's not advertised.
They want to be valued higher.
Absolutely. I mean, and why shouldn't they? I mean, look at what women do. You first of all, you give me a
No,
fucking
no.
child.
No, okay.
No,
Then you
not
take
even-
care
no,
of my
not
child.
even on
I'm-
that standpoint.
I'm with you there, but I am saying that I am down to value you in higher in certain areas and not others. But God forbid that be the case, because they value me higher in certain areas and not others. But that's not.
Yep.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like we see this across the board. We can touch mental health, and it's like, oh well, guys, who do you talk to when you have issues? Well, no, and I deal with it myself. Women, who do you talk to? Oh well, this.
Everybody.
But no, you even in Google, you'll type, oh well, my husband's abusing me. Oh, here you go. My wife's abusing me. Well, you probably have mental issues.
Yeah.
Like
no. Like, oh, okay. Well, have you what
there's
what
no
have
number.
you been
there-
doing for
Yep.
her?
Yeah.
You type in what my
So-
man's been abusing me, and it's like, here's the helpline.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Here's
guys,
the
it
phone number.
just doesn't happen. So there's no equality.
No, it wasn't abusing, because I saw that post. It was, my husband's been yelling at me, and I don't know
That's
what
what
to
it
do.
was. It was the yelling. Yep. So there's no equality currently, and there will never be equality
There's
because
never going to be equality
Well, I
because
mean, that's like control. It's an illusion, right?
yes,
Do you
Yeah.
truly have control? Absolutely not.
you have control to a limit.
I have
Because
control.
you can-
Yourself and your actions.
you-
Yes, I have control of when I die. That's the only thing I truly have control over.
Do you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
At any point,
Absolutely.
Did my brother have control of when he died? And I'm not saying this to be a dick.
no, you got to understand this though. At any point, you have a decision to.
Oh, I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yes.
And if you were thinking about please dial 988.
Yes, throw a comment below. I'll respond. We'll talk. Seriously,
I will be supportive, but I probably won't respond.
he doesn't even check our YouTube.
I don't
This
even
guy
watch
doesn't
these
check our
things.
YouTube. Mike
But-
posts all the videos.
Seriously, I hear what you're saying there. However,
It's the only thing you truly have control over.
Leaving,
you can control your decisions
Yeah.
which
and
But-
what you
But
say and
how
don't
much
say.
of your decisions do you truly control, and how many of your decisions are affected by what people say to you
and do to you.
and do to you?
Absolutely. 100%.
What you said was correct. It is an illusion of control.
Right. back to DEI.
No, it's
Yeah, let's
illusion
go
of
back to
choice. DEI. We're talking about.
Diversity. So what is actual diversity?
So Survivor pushed this, and they're pushing this in all their little ads of.
This is where this is coming from. That
no,
stupid show.
this isn't where it's coming from. This
it's
is
not where this is coming
this
from.
is my attachment.
This is a corporate
into,
push to make
An
everything
NBC
inclusive.
corporate push.
I mean, no, this is across the board.
It's across the board. It's everywhere.
It's not.
People
just
are
in,
getting rated on this shit.
What?
I'm not
Yes.
fucking with you, bro. Companies
Cancel television.
It's
Fuck
cancel.
it. And it cancel
TV
It's not
shows.
television. Everything's subscription.
everything is getting hit by this. Your TV shows, your Hollywood movies, your AAA video
Your
games,
jobs.
your jobs, they're all getting DEI ratings.
We just hired someone.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
How
I'm
do
not fucking
how do
with
do
you,
this?
bro.
We just hired someone has no knowledge, but because they are a diverse hire, they're
Bro,
getting paid.
I quit.
They're getting paid to an equal value of what me and you make,
Yes.
and they have
That
no.
is bullshit.
They have no
This
value.
is a waste of money and time.
And I mean, agreed. If they don't have value, why are we hiring them?
Don't
Well,
confuse it with
no, and we say this earlier. If you don't know how to do the job, why are we hiring you?
Why are we hiring you? Here's the thing.
We
Instead of
we get tax breaks.
well, people now know that instead of doing the work to raise their knowledge base to be part of whatever job or community they want to be a part of, you help him.
Cabo, come on. No, I was holding the chair for you, bro.
Oh, poor Cabo. So instead of doing the job and investing themselves to the degree to where they can gain the knowledge that you and me have, they know that they can just be a lazy piece of shit and sit back. And I can't be upset with them about it because they're gaining the system.
And you know what? It's just where we're at right now.
Is he going back?
Not yet. Cabo. Nope. Missed opportunity. Total missed opportunity.
It is a missed opportunity. I'm sad because I would totally have not let Celt sit back down.
You go away. I've been.
Cabo. Think I need more
You should
time.
pull Cabo into your lap.
Yeah, because he's
You
not a
lay
white
down.
dog.
Come here, Cabo.
He's
Don't
not a
lick your
white
penis
dog.
in front of me. Come here. Come here, Cabo.
But no, companies, businesses, people across the board have been dealing with this DEI, and it's
Look,
realistically a tax break. What can we do to get a tax break? Because
okay, then why aren't you hiring disabled veterans? Because you get a 30% tax break.
Because you get less of a tax break with them now.
Thank you.
Yeah, they actually reduced the tax break that people got. They're
Yep.
Right.
and have I brought this up on
Not
podcast?
about.
Thanks, Biden.
Where
It wasn't even.
companies
Stop blaming the current, because what we're seeing right
So we're
now.
gonna blame Trump then?
No, what we're seeing now came from the Bush administration, 2008.
8
Yes.
years, bro.
Because how long it takes to pass through. Everything he was pushing, we're starting to see now. What we're seeing Biden now, we're going to see about 2032. Like, yes,
8 years
he
from
pushes
now.
some stuff.
8
but-
years from now. So
Listen.
the last president 8 years ago was Obama.
what I was saying is that companies now are turning back against veterans again to the point to where
Absolutely.
they're
We can't get
avoiding
jobs.
Hiring.
they're avoiding hiring veterans. Do you know why they're avoiding
Because they
hiring
think
veterans?
we're gonna go postal.
Yes, they
And
think
we
that.
very might well, because what the fuck are we gonna
No.
do?
Nope.
Here's where I completely
I
disagree with you,
disagree.
because
We want to be members of society.
we
again.
want to
We
be
do,
members of society.
But how are we gonna provide for our family if we
but
can't get a fucking
what I'm
job?
saying is that we're not going to go post. They're saying that we're going to go into the workplace, and because of PTSD,
We're gonna go
to
post.
shoot up the workplace. How many veterans have shot up workplaces?
None.
Serious?
No, not none.
Not none.
There's been a
I
handful.
mean, since the 1990s.
No, since 2010. We're
Yeah.
talking about maybe a handful in comparison
Okay.
to.
How many mass shootings have been done by veterans?
I think there's been a couple.
There's been a number.
There's been a couple.
There's
Definitely.
been a few.
Well, let's find it, because in my
I don't have
understanding,
the
it's
numbers to
not.
support this.
I
It's
don't have
not
the factual
veterans
numbers.
that
But
are
I
doing
mean,
mass
There
shootings.
has been a couple.
But I mean, I know that there's been assassins and everything else who were veterans, so
Yeah.
I can't.
I hear that, but what I'm saying is, in recent times, where mass shootings have
Most of
been an
them have
issue,
been
it's been
psychological, based
psychological
off,
teenagers that have been doing it.
or younger adults.
Yeah,
White
typically
individuals.
people not in the military.
Correct. Your normal, your average, I would
Right.
say, would not be your veterans. Not to say veterans don't do it, because we had a veteran a couple years back that shot up a VA.
We also had a veteran shoot Chris Kyle
Well,
in the back.
Who was
so
that?
Chris Kyle was the American sniper, Texas
American
boy.
Sniper. And
Real good
he
old
had an
boy.
organization where he took veterans
Yep,
out to
with
shooting
PTSD.
ranges and stuff like that. And he was trying to do prolonged exposure therapy type thing with them. And a veteran turned around and shot him in the back. Killed him.
So the issue isn't even just veterans. Veterans don't like other veterans.
Well, yeah, I don't like either one of y'all. Y'all don't like me either. So
That's a dirty lie.
That's a lie. I love you to death.
Yeah.
I love both of you. Mike says he hates me all the time, and then he's like, "All right, love you, bro."
I only show up to his house all the time.
Yeah.
you don't ever show up.
Well, you
I don't know
also
where you
haven't
live.
invited the podcast.
Bullshit.
over
You
to-
dropped the fridge off there.
That's true. I've been to your house several
When's the
times.
next time we're having a podcast at your place?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do it in
Hold
a
on.
couple months.
Hold on, guy. Hold on.
Hear all the police sirens in the background.
For real,
I
right?
live in the hood, bro. I'm
It's
white
like,
though.
so, hey, welcome to the West Side, bitch.
West Side.
Wait, is it the
cross
west side
them
or the
fingers,
far, far
too.
west side?
He lives
Oi.
proper West Side. I live far west.
I actually live Central.
I'm pretty sure you live West Side.
Central.
He says that with the tongue lift.
It's okay. It's fucking San Antonio. There's nothing
I
fucking.
live.
There's nothing fucking ghetto in San Antonio.
I'm from San. The
Bullshit.
most ghetto we have is the far, far,
Southeast, bro.
Y'all
No,
are fucking
false.
adorable.
far east.
Y'all are
is
fucking
the closest
adorable.
San Antonio gets to ghetto.
Hey, let me
Now
tell you
you
something.
talk West Side
Universal
Baltimore.
City, bro.
Nope. You talk West Side Baltimore.
Fucking get it, son.
That's the closest I've been to hardcore ghetto.
Nah, bro.
And then you got
Ninth Ward
Houston.
in New
It was
Orleans.
just like, bro, hey,
Houston, where I'm over at my buddy's place and we're watching the crack houses in his apartment complex
Get
get
shot
busted
up
because he's
and-
in Fifth Ward.
Ninth Ward, New Orleans. That's pretty.
New Orleans is pretty ghetto. at
And
points.
I've only dipped into Third Ward once or twice.
All of New Orleans smells like piss too.
I actually don't know which ward is worse in Houston anymore. I'm out of touch.
I haven't been to Baltimore in a while. Baltimore's pretty bad.
Baltimore's pretty bad, although I went to a fried chicken and waffle place on the wrong side of town, and it had the best
We went to a
fucking
Waffle
chicken
House.
and waffles.
We went to
Dude, I
Waffle
want some
House.
chicken and waffles right now.
Freaking Waffle House in I think it
I've
was,
got a waffle maker and I got pancake mix.
it was no,
Let's-
it was
Do
it
you
was
have chicken?
Green Lantern Cafe. It was a mom and pop shop.
So we just have a waffles and no chicken.
I
I-
mean,
We
Bakers
could get
can't be
waffles and
choosers.
ice cream.
Bro, waffles sounds amazing.
we went to Green Lantern
So,
Cafe. It
What
was
I'm hearing is we're
wild.
doing waffles after this.
I'm
We
game.
should do waffles now.
Fuck
Fuck the podcast.
Sorry, guys, we're gonna do waffles.
Issue for a day.
We're gonna
Waffles.
catch up with you guys in a second, but we're doing waffles.
That's a good rap, bro. Tickle that subscribe.
I don't even know what we were going to talk about.
I don't know, but them
Before,
waffles were
Them waffles,
fucking
We
amazing.
had
were
waffles and
That
ice cream.
delicious.
hit the spot.
We had waffles.
Wa-
waffles
waffles
and
and-
ice cream.
Oh, bro.
That's the way to live your life
That is
right
a
there.
game
We're about to
This is the
start
greatest thing
having-
about being an adult.
We're about to start having breakfast at like
Bro, I
midnight.
gotta go. I'm gonna go straight to the gym that's open 24 hours after this.
No,
Like,
you're not.
No,
Don't
you're
lie.
not. Don't lie.
Okay. I'll
Breakfast
stop
at
lying.
midnight, though. You might wake up early ish. I'm not waking up early tomorrow. I'll wake up when I wake up, but you know who's not making breakfast tomorrow because I had breakfast tonight?
You know who's not making breakfast tomorrow because I got leftover waffles?
You're going to have fucking toaster waffles.
I'm gonna have toaster waffles.
You might make maybe sausage.
I'm almost like
sausage.
sugar
I'll probably make
comatose.
Do what?
I'm almost sugar comatose.
Sugar coma toast?
Sugar comatose.
I
How did you
thought
say
were.
it though?
How did you say that? Because I thought you were speaking a different fucking
I
language.
thought you were having a stroke.
Hama.
I was having sugar coated.
Yeah, I mean, you said it like Ozzy Osbourne, bro.
Sugar coated nuts.
It's like, damn, I know you're Navy, but sugar coated nuts? Calm down, bro.
You want what in your mouth?
Sugar coated nuts.
You were licking what?
Sugar coated nuts. Man,
Dude,
that's
you know what? Those sugar coated nuts covered in chocolate is amazing. They're called clusters.
But isn't,
And it
Do
can
you
make
wanna
you a
try
real
clusters
cluster.
next time?
I mean, there's also cheese curds. Cheese curds are good.
Ew, gross.
not
That's
about
like
that life.
sour milk.
The Wisconsin cheese curds?
Yeah, that's like straight sour milk.
I mean, all cheese is sour. It's all soured milk.
Hey, how y'all like my 64 ounces?
So, King for an issue.
Yes. Pump it.
How do we fix all the roads in Texas? Because
You
right
don't.
now we. All right, well that's King for an issue. Thanks, guys. This is Nate
All right,
Ending.
and that's Dave
Fuck that like
Ending.
button, tickle that subscribe, and throw a comment down below.
You send that to me.
I mean, your life is like I-35, always under construction.
But no,
You're always trying to fix yourself.
how do we fix Texas roads? Because
So-
right now,
So
to give preface on it,
yeah,
most roads in Texas, if not all roads, are made off the local rock, the local crap.
Materials.
And the local materials are clay and brittle rock. So we have very, very shitty roads that need to be repaired all the time. So we see all the memes as like, oh, well, every road in Texas is being worked on right now. So how do we fix Texas roads?
I gotta be honest. I don't have a very good answer for this. Like, this would be one I would have to stew on for like weeks in order to like even conceive of an answer. Because, I mean, let me outline the problem.
Okay.
With trying to fix the issue, right? Because you're stating that the biggest problem is that like the local rocks,
Local materials, yeah.
the local materials are not adequate to the job. So here's the question: we have granite locally,
Yep.
and we have cast off from granite. Granite is an excellent material. Why
But
is
it
that not good?
degrades. It
It
degrades.
degrades over
It degrades too fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
And
I
the
mean,
heat
same
and
thing
the
with
weather.
limestone.
And
Limestone
here's-
degrades at the same rate.
The reason I'm saying that is because I've got a buddy whose dad put down granite gravel in his driveway 20 fucking years ago.
But that's gravel. Gravel, you're not putting the same pressure on a flat surface. It's multiple different
Right, but we're
surfaces.
still talking about locally sourced rock. So I would expect the same problems from that I have with the gravel that I have out here.
And this is
So
where
the problem isn't solely the material. The problem is the ingenuity of the road. The problem is the vehicles that are traveling on the road, the weight class of the vehicle, how much it's starting and stopping. For instance, in San Antonio, they have not only started, but I think completed most of the bus stops in concrete now. And so because when buses are stopping, the weight is coming down on the asphalt, which is pushing such a force on the asphalt, which is causing divots. Semis and other box trucks that are heavy weight are doing the same thing on side streets all over the city. Why? Because the dirt underneath isn't solid enough. It's too pliable
you're
to
thinking the
push
issue
back against
is
the force.
isn't just the roads, it's the
It's
vehicles
the
on the road.
vehicles, the ingenuity of the road. So what my street was actually reconstructed 2-3 years ago. And when they did that, they tore everything up. They raised the street like 12 inches to help with drainage, to get the water off the road better, which they did a horrible job at that. But they came in, and then instead of putting base down like they have done in so many years before, the old technique was put base down on top of the caliche and compact it really hard and then put asphalt on top. Well, eventually the caliche blends into, I mean, the base will bleed into the caliche and become part of the caliche, right? So then you still have your divots, which never goes away. They went in and actually added lime to the cleachy this time to harden.
So we can
The
bury
cleachy-
bodies now.
Technically, yeah. But they came in and they added a ton of lime, and so far it's helping, but there's no stopping the heavy machinery and heavy trucks that are coming down our street that are causing more issues now.
Here's my problem is because the under the
It's the under that's causing the
The
issue.
underlayment.
but the under of San Antonio is rock.
Yeah.
Like there is
Rock,
just
rock.
fucking
19
heavy
feet under,
rock.
though. Like in my area on my street, you have 19 feet of clay before you hit what is it? Limestone.
I mean, that's why we had the
Bedrock.
sinkhole on 90 and 410 a couple years back. Like full on sinkhole. Highways just like,
Yeah, I remember
Ooh.
that. Yeah.
and it was closed for like 2 or 3
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a 151, wasn't it?
Nope.
No.
There
Was
was
it
one
90
at
and
151, but 90 and 410 was
Yeah.
the most recent.
So, but the problem is our neighborhood streets aren't designed to have semis with such a heavy weight
Well,
loaded
why-
onto the streets, right?
Why are semis going through neighborhoods?
City pickup, brush
Yeah.
pickup, the trash pickup. I mean, think about the trash trucks and how heavy the trash trucks are.
No, that's
And
true.
they're
I
coming
didn't
and
think about that one.
stopping every house. It's like eventually all that weight is transferred down.
how is that because you're talking about weight dynamics and physics and all that
Yeah,
jazz.
force.
How is that any different from other parts of the country?
Yeah, how come their roads hold up better? East Coast, West Coast.
Because also keep in mind that they're dealing with more physics than we are because they deal with freezing temperatures on a much regular basis than we do.
Their
So
coats are different.
they deal with water seeping into their roads
Right.
and then freezing to cause separation. And I
Right.
don't care. There is no asphalt or concrete that is impermeable to that.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, I agree. But it's that the roads are engineered to withstand the conditions of the weather and situations in that part of the country.
But
Like in
how
South
are
Texas,
they
they're
engineered
not-
different?
They're not
How are they
engineering it
engineered
properly.
different?
So why are ours breaking faster than theirs?
What?
Why is Texas breaking
Because you
faster
said that they
than-
were engineered different, but how are they engineered different? Because it's implied that we're using locally sourced material, but using the same method that everyone else uses to construct our roads. And it's the materials as he suggested.
Take the intersection of 1604 and Bandera for example. Okay, the way they engineered that entire intersection is not based on anything in the United States. It's based on something in Europe. It's an intersection that's some city person, some bigwig in the city, traveled to Europe and saw this design and was like, fuck it, let's try this somewhere in the city and see how well or not well it works. And it was an experiment. 1604 and Bandera Road is
But-
an experimental.
Doesn't have
That
to do
doesn't-
with
yeah.
road construction. That has to
That is road construction. 'cause
no,
they tore the whole.
that has to do with traffic dynamics.
Yes.
That does not have to do with the material road construction.
Like, how are we going to fix the road issue?
you have to have better
Degradation.
engineering.
Engineering
You've got
of
to
what,
spend
though?
the money though.
engineering of what? What is engineered poorly besides material?
Because we're doing the same
it-
base
the
that everyone
problem-
else does.
the
it's
problem-
it's not the material engineering. That's
How
the
is
problem.
it not the material engineering? Because that's the only thing I can conceive of that's different.
So okay, if we have we have roads in San Antonio that are concrete
So
for
Italy,
specific reasons.
the best European country that's very similar to Texas is Italy.
Do they have concrete roads?
Yes, and their roads don't fuck up as much as ours.
Right. What does their engineering look like? How many inches apart is their rebar? How big is their rebar? How well is it tied? Is it mesh or
Okay,
is it
so
straight?
that still goes
Like-
down to the issue. How do we
How
fix
deep?
our roads?
Again, what is the engineering difference? How do we fix the engineering difference?
You
I'm not
find
saying
out
that
what's
I'm not saying
best.
you're wrong. I'm saying
What's
you're
your
stating
solution?
that engineering difference is the problem. What is the solution?
a lot of the solution is trial and error. Right?
Well,
You have to. Right?
we've had
Because
a lot of trial.
Really, well, exactly, and that leads back to the city planning part. The 20 years from now, how many cars are going to be on the damn road? How many people can we
Stop it,
project? What is the weight ratio? How many vehicles at this time of day, this place, and all that stuff? we're planning 20 years from now.
I mean,
So let's budget to build roads that are going to handle not only what we're going to have in 20 years, but let's project 20% on top of that.
well, I mean, Marbach's been done how many times since I've been here? Like 7?
I have no idea.
And when I first got
Because
here,
they can't get
there
it
was
right the first
potholes
time.
everywhere. And then the next time, there was waves everywhere. I mean, shoot, 90 westbound is just like,
And
you're riding on a
let's
wave.
talk about the politics of it. The city's not paying outrageous amount of money to get it done correctly the first time. They're paying the low man on the totem pole who's cheapest,
So-
who's using DEI as points to get into, hey, this guy's got the most amount of points because his price comes in the right place. He's got X number of Mexicans or blacks or whatever.
But
women.
DEI isn't what we're talking
Your
about right
solution to fix the
But
roads
the city's picking the
is
cheapest
hire
person,
the proper
basically.
person.
Exactly.
So your solution for King Furnace, you fix Texas roads,
now. Is to spend more money.
is
You have
to hire the right person.
hire the right person, and that's going to cost more money.
Okay.
Hire the right person who's going to use the right materials and the right engineers. That will last you a bit longer than what you're going to get from someone else.
So I do agree
So
with
your
him.
piece,
I do agree with him on spending more money.
we're all going to agree on that. So hands
The
down.
thing is the way that you spend more money. I first off agree that the construction crews are part of the issue. We have low standards for time and quality for for metropolitan construction in the United States, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, just touching on Texas roads, though.
right.
We all agreed,
Right.
spend more
this,
money.
I know that this is bleeding a little bit, but
No, it is
this ties
across
in.
the states,
This
yes.
ties in. So we're going to have to spend more for tighter construction that's expected to last longer. We're also going to have to end up spending if we have this expectation that these roads are going to be built to last, we're going to have to import better material. And when you're importing material, even from different parts of the same country, you're talking an exponential increase in price.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, realistically, that is the solution.
So yours is spend more money. Yours is import and
Import
build
better materials.
and put a value, an actual value and time limit on construction workers.
Yes.
So,
And I agree, because if you get like river rock from Colorado, which is what, 2 states away from Texas, it is 2 to 3 times the amount of what you would pay for river rock that you get here out of Guadalupe.
So,
oh, dude, are you gonna fucking glass it?
are
you gonna glass it?
You already know the answer to this.
The
Let's
issue
go.
isn't necessarily the materials. The issue is the materials and the construction workers. We need to spend more money to hire the right people, because the biggest issue we have is we have a good mix. We've engineered properly, but we're not putting it down fast enough.
Well,
So we have this good mixture, but because it's sitting outside for 2 hours because we're waiting on construction, because either we don't have enough people or we're not hiring enough people, or so we need to spend more money.
our construction goes on.
And
Right? I mean, in other countries,
that's the issue with the
you
roads.
can
It's
tear
not just
down a
other
bridge and
countries.
rebuild
It's
it in
other
2 days.
states.
Other
Alaska. Alaska had a freaking stage 5 earthquake or 4, whatever
Stage
value.
4,
And
level 4.
the road was like 4 feet across. 3 days later, they fixed it.
Yeah.
The issue is we're not spending the proper money, in my opinion, because we have the good mixture. We know what the mixture is. The issue is we let it sit too long, and it starts degrading when we lay it down. If we put it down, because you're talking about a concrete mixture.
You're talking hot mix, cold mix.
Exactly. When it's in the truck, it has a lifespan.
Right.
We've been laying down.
Needs to
Last
be
I did
laid
my
down
research.
within an hour before it starts.
It's been spinning for too long.
Yep.
So we're putting down shitty material
Makes
because
it
it's
hot
already
mix.
past its life cycle.
Again, this goes into the expectations
cost
for our
and-
timeline.
And exactly.
Well, and that's what I'm. I mean,
and we've all agreed on timeline. We've all agreed on money.
there
More
are
money needs to
new-
be spent. Hire the right people.
There are new
Cut
trucks
down the
now.
timeline.
There are new trucks now that actually mix on site.
Yeah.
So they come with the pre-mix and the amount of water that needs to be mixed into
And
it.
they do it on site.
Once they get on site, they mix the water into the concrete mix and then spin it so that it's ready.
Because a lot of people, I'm sure, don't know. I didn't know for a long that concrete in all these mixtures are a thermic mixture.
Yep.
Yes.
Like they put off
temperature
heat.
matters.
This is a chemical
reaction.
That's
why
happening.
They call it a hot mix if it's been spinning too long.
That's why you can't put your hand in concrete.
Right.
You should.
Well, and the lime.
Because
dry out like crazy.
Yeah.
Because it'll burn the shit out of you if you're not careful.
Yep.
Depending on the mixture, obviously.
Yep. So typically, depending on the amount of yardage that you have in a mixer, you have anywhere from an hour up to max 2 hours once the mixer starts spinning. So once that spinner on the truck is spinning and it's turning, you have an hour to get it. Anywhere in San Antonio, it takes you 30 minutes to get to.
You know,
and it's
pretty
spinning
crazy?
when it leaves the concrete place.
We've all agreed on a couple standpoints on this issue.
Yeah.
Like
we're more or less on the same page.
We're all on the same page. We all have different ways we would go about it, but we all agree on a bunch of the aspects of this.
Yeah.
Like we need to spend more money and we need to care about the people doing it.
Hire
engineering
the
solution,
people.
which goes into the people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all agree on that. We agree we need to spend more money, which goes to hiring the people.
And let me put it this way. I don't see either one of y'all sitting in hot tar smelling that shit all day long, sticking your boots to it all day long. I don't. But let's pay the people who are willing to do it.
We'll pay them properly.
What they're worth, right?
Like,
instead of $10 an hour, $12 an hour to do something like stupid hard, like stupid manual hard, and maybe even dangerous to your sinuses, to your whatever, cancerous, whatever.
The blue collar work. We've talked about this before.
I mean, why don't we pay people what they're worth?
Yep.
I mean, that's why we don't have enough people doing this work. It's because we're not paying people properly.
For the dirty jobs, the blue collar work.
Well, what's his face? Dirty job.
Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe, yeah. I mean, he's touched on, grab me one, bro. But yeah, he just recently revamped and it was like, heck yeah, watching this bad boy and going through it.
Restarted his show.
Oh man, I'm so happy.
His new show is so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything, I would say he gives even less of a fuck than
Now?
he did before.
Absolutely. I mean, he's not married anymore, and he's like, fuck it, whatever. Let's go.
I don't know if y'all seen some of the clips and stuff that he did on
watch his episodes more than I watch
Facebook
yours.
and on YouTube and stuff. But where he would talk about, you know, the work he was trying to do in order to say, hey folks, man, my fucking dog.
There's a dog bed over there, Struggle City. Pearl Scout.
But like he's literally been desperately trying to convince people to invest their lives in these dirty jobs. And I know me and Keeper have talked about it before.
One of our not favorable videos, but we were all strung out on coffee.
But realistically, if the IT job fell through for me, my fallback is electrician or plumbing. Most likely electrician.
I would touch electrician.
I would not.
I would, because I love the sound my wife says I make every time I do electricity. She says I sound like R2-D2 from Star Wars.
Every time you get
I
shocked.
think Mike's maybe heard it once.
Yeah.
I 100% sound like R2. There's a video out there.
I mean, listen, bro. I got hit by 220 one time, and it's like after that,
knock you on your ass.
yeah. After that, it's like
everything's kosher. It's just like,
I'm not scared. Yeah.
Oh, that's 110. Ooh, that's 120. Okay, 140, 220. The worst part is it's not even intentional when I get shocked. It's just like that's the first thing that comes out.
Oh. So I guess that's king for an issue.
That's king for an issue. It was a good one, and
No, I think I just don't think. Again, it's like I say for all
There's
these
no
issues.
simple solution.
There's no simple solutions. This is a complex problem, and it requires a complex solution over time.
And it's our bias, it's our opinion, and based off our
And
research and our
It
understanding.
just happens that we're right.
And we're not paid to have this opinion. So
I'm not paid to have any
I
opinion
wish I was
have.
paid
believe
to
it
have
or
this
not,
opinion.
I mean,
Can someone pay
it's
me
up
to
to
have an
you.
opinion, please?
And I'll tell you you're wrong, and I'm still gonna have my
50
own opinion.
cents!
But
Better than 2 cents.
This is name pending.
this has been name pending. I'm Mike Culberson.
I'm still keeper.
And I am Celt.
I need you to fuck that like button.
Oh,
Throw a comment down below. I'll respond.
and tickle that
Tickle the
subscribe.
subscribe. Oh.
So hey girl, hey,
Lick
that's
it.
us. Catch you next time.
Yeah.